I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to try the 3-hole yarn foot, or 7-hole yarn couching foot. That is this little dealy bobber here. This dealy bobber comes with a threader thingy that you push through the back and then it makes a loop, but that's really hard to use. I think the 3-hole threader comes with a better one, but I don't have the 3-hole one, I just have the 7-hole one. I have these, which I got from my serger, but then my serger, if you saw my other video about the serger, it's like really easy to thread, so then I didn't even need it for the serger, or at least I haven't. Maybe I will. But what it has is, if you use this, you put this thingy through these holes, and then you can put your thread through there, and it just pulls through. I'm going to use this cool green thread, and I have this really pretty red thread, sparkly red thread that's a little bit heavier, but I think it'll be fine. It needs to be a smooth thread for this. If it is a really, what do you want to say? If it is a really gnarly thread, it'll get caught in the foot and it won't work. So make sure that your thread is nice, like the yarn that you're wanting to couch is nice and smooth. Because I tried it with another thread, it really didn't work. So this is like, don't do this. Bad. This, better. Like it's nice and smooth, it won't get caught on anything. How much yarn do I want to use? Let's do 3. So this is yet another thing for your sewing machine, right? All these cool things. You have a sewing machine now, you can do all kinds of cool things with it other than just sewing a straight stitch, which you can still do and is totally cool. But like you want to do crazy quilts, or you have a little kid and you want to embellish their dress, or it's Dr. Seuss week and you want to do something crazy. Well, here's yet another week to do something cool. Another way to do something cool. Make sure you have to do this threading thing before you put it on the machine. So you put it through the loop, make sure there's enough of a loop there, and then you just pull it through, it catches it, and it's like magic. So this foot has, like, depending on what kind of yarn or how spaced you want it, you can use up to 7 different types of yarn, because it's a 7-hole yarn foot. If you're using something really light weight, like a pearl cotton I was using before, or something heavier like this yarn, you use that. It takes a minute to set it up, but like say you're doing some kind of costuming or whatever and you want to do really embellish maybe a dance costume, I think this could look really cool. Embellishing like seam edges or a hem or a cushion. There's just so many things you can do with embellishment without needing to resort to an embroidery machine, which, I mean, obviously I have an embroidery machine, but not everything has to be embroidery, right? Alright, so those are all going. Those are all going. Sorry if my hands move off camera. Those are all going like that now. I'm going to put it on my machine. Just snaps on. Put my fabric down. And I'm going to choose a stitch. I chose the contrasting thread because I thought it looked cool, and also so you could see the stitch itself better. This machine, the Sapphire 930 that I've had for almost 5 years now, has these 2 stitches are made for the yarn. This row 4, stitch 57 and 58 are made specifically for the yarn. However, last night I was playing around and I discovered that there are other stitches that look really good too, like row 3 stitch 54. That looks really cool, I thought. Row 3 stitch 58. This is supposed to be done with like a wing needle and like a really fine thread. It's like entredot or something. I forget the name of that technique. This is clearly with an embroidery thread and with the couching, and it looks really cool. This is just like quilt stitches. This is just a heavier quilting stitch. You just need a stitch that will completely enclose those. Even this one looks pretty cool. Imagine that one like with a narrow ribbon. That would be a cool stitch with a narrow ribbon, I think. But this is 57 and 58. I'm just going to do it with the stitch that it was designed for. So I have row 4 stitch 57 I set up with the regular stitch width of 7, and that's the base length. I turn the speed down when I'm doing these kinds of more complicated decorative stitches. It's easier for me to control the fabric that way. Alright, let's go. Let's move this over. Move this over. How do I do this? Sorry. As you guys probably know from watching my terrible videos, I'm not a professional camera person. Anyway, make sure that we're ready to go. You can see it doesn't matter. It pulls and straightens this, the cords as it goes. So my main job, I don't have to worry about the yarn so much. I just have to worry about guiding the fabric. I can use my thread color cutter. Can you see that? Doesn't that look cool? Imagine that as an embellishment, like on a backpack or a purse or something. That is pretty cool. That is the yarn couching with the decorative stitches. And it looks really awesome, if I do say so myself. Thank you.